Do you ever wonder why you keep falling for the wrong person, even though you know better? You're not alone. In fact, studies show that 60% of people end up in relationships that don't fulfill them. Shocking, right? What if I told you that there's a pattern behind your choices, one that you don't even realize you're following? And what if I told you that breaking this cycle could be easier than you think? Most of us have been there, feeling trapped in relationships that drain us instead of lift us up. You think you're making the right choice, but something always goes wrong. The truth is, love isn't just about chemistry or timing. There are deeper reasons that influence why we choose the wrong people over and over. But here's the good news: you can change the game. In this video, we'll uncover why you keep falling for the wrong person and what you can do about it. We'll look at the hidden forces that shape your choices, and I'll share powerful strategies to help you attract the love you truly deserve. Get ready to see love from a whole new perspective. Stay tuned. Chapter 1: The secret script you're unconsciously following. Have you ever wondered why you keep falling for the same type of person, even if it always ends in disappointment? One key reason is that we often unknowingly follow a script written during childhood. This script is shaped by our family dynamics, early relationships, and life experiences. Research shows that these early influences impact the kind of love we seek in adulthood. For example, if you grew up in a household where love was unpredictable, maybe a parent was emotionally distant or inconsistent, you might be drawn to partners who mimic that same uncertainty. It's not that you consciously choose dysfunction, but you've learned to seek out what's familiar, even if it's unhealthy. Psychologist Dr. Harville Hendrix, author of Getting the Love You Want, explains that we often choose partners who fit our unconscious expectations, even if they don't offer the love we truly need. Here's the catch: these scripts can be rewritten. By becoming aware of them, you can break free from this cycle. Think about it: if you learn to associate love with chaos, it might feel strange to be with someone who offers stability and calmness. But this shift is crucial. According to a 2018 study by the American Psychological Association, self-awareness is the first step in breaking negative relationship patterns. Start by reflecting on your past relationships. What do they have in common? What did you learn about yourself in each one? A simple exercise is to journal your thoughts about love and relationships. Ask yourself questions like, what was love like for me growing up? And what patterns do I see in my past relationships? When you identify your love script, you can begin to change it. Remember, the first step in changing your relationship habits is recognizing them. Chapter 2: The Chemistry Trap. When love feels like addiction. Ever noticed how the beginning of a relationship feels like an exciting roller coaster ride? This high can be exhilarating, but it can also trick you into thinking you're in love when, in reality, you're addicted to the emotional rush. This is because early love often feels like a chemical high, especially when there's intense attraction or chemistry. The brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone, during the early stages of a relationship. Dopamine makes us feel euphoric, which can create the illusion of true love. This sensation can even lead to what's known as love addiction, where we crave the rush of new relationships but ignore red flags. Dr. Alexandra Solomon, author of Loving Bravely, calls this the honeymoon high, that phase when you're drawn to the intensity rather than to the person's true character. This emotional high can actually be confusing. In fact, a study by the University of North Carolina found that people who experience intense attraction are more likely to misinterpret feelings of infatuation for real love. The trick is learning to distinguish the difference. True love is built on connection, trust, and compatibility, not just fireworks. So, what can you do? First, take a step back and slow down. Avoid rushing into relationships based solely on chemistry. Instead, focus on building a foundation of friendship and mutual respect. A relationship built on genuine connection will always feel more fulfilling in the long run. Start asking yourself, am I drawn to this person because of who they are, or just how they make me feel in the moment? Chapter 3: Are you chasing the fantasy, not the person? It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of a perfect partner, especially with the pressure of social media and Hollywood rom-coms setting unrealistic expectations. We often build an image of what we want our ideal partner to be, and then we try to fit real people into that mold. But here's the thing: the person you fantasize about may not exist. Studies show that people tend to idealize potential partners, focusing more on their potential rather than their reality. In fact, a 2017 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that idealization in early relationships can lead to disappointment when the partner doesn't meet those exaggerated expectations. We've all done it, imagining that someone could be our perfect match only to realize later that they are nothing like we thought. One way to stop chasing a fantasy is to focus on who the person really is, rather than who you wish they could be. Ask yourself, am I seeing this person clearly, or am I projecting my dreams and desires onto them? When you shift from idealizing to seeing things as they are, you can form a deeper, more meaningful connection. A practical strategy is to pay attention to small details. Notice how your partner reacts to challenges or how they treat others. These are often more telling than any dream or fantasy you've created in your head. Real love isn't about being swept off your feet, it's about seeing a person for who they truly are and deciding whether that fits with your own values and desires. If you're enjoying these insights, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Trust me, the next chapters are going to change the way you view relationships for good. Chapter 4: The Mirror Effect. Why you attract what you're avoiding. Do you ever feel like the people you attract reflect something about yourself? The truth is, we often draw in partners who mirror our own emotional struggles. These mirrored relationships aren't random, they're a reflection of unresolved issues we might not even be aware of. In psychology, this is often called the mirror effect. Studies show that our internal world, our insecurities, fears, and unhealed wounds, plays a huge role in who we are attracted to. A 2016 study in Psychological Science found that people who are insecure about their own worth are more likely to attract partners who are emotionally unavailable or untrustworthy. It's like the universe is handing you a mirror, showing you what's going on inside. The key to breaking this cycle is self-awareness. By understanding your own emotional needs and healing your inner wounds, you can attract someone who is better aligned with the person you want to be. Self-love isn't just about feeling good. It's about knowing your worth and not settling for less than you deserve. Dr. John Gottman, a leading relationship expert, emphasizes that understanding your own emotional needs is the foundation for building healthy relationships. He often says, the best predictor of whether a relationship will succeed is the emotional intelligence of both partners. To start breaking the mirror effect, reflect on your past relationships. What patterns do you notice? Are there common traits in the people you've chosen? Once you see these patterns, focus on healing those areas within yourself. Therapy, journaling, and self-reflection can help you identify and resolve emotional wounds that might be attracting the wrong type of partner. Chapter 5: Love versus Comfort. Settling for familiar pain. Have you ever stayed in a relationship because it felt comfortable, even though you knew it wasn't right for you? Many people do. We often confuse comfort with love, thinking that because something feels familiar, it must be meant to be. But comfort doesn't equal happiness. According to a 2019 study by the National Institute of Mental Health, people who stay in unhealthy relationships for comfort often experience lower self-esteem and greater emotional distress. Staying with someone simply because it feels safe can leave you stuck in a cycle of unmet needs and emotional stagnation. The problem with comfort is that it feels predictable, even when it's painful. We tend to stick with what we know because the unknown feels risky, even if that means tolerating emotional neglect or dissatisfaction. Dr. Harriet Lerner, author of The Dance of Anger, explains that many people avoid confronting their discomfort in relationships because they fear change. But staying in a toxic relationship only perpetuates unhappiness in the long run. So how do you break free from this cycle? Start by embracing discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Begin by asking yourself, am I choosing this relationship because it brings me joy, or because it feels familiar and safe? If it's the latter, it may be time to make a change. Learning to trust yourself and your ability to handle the unknown will empower you to step into a healthier, more fulfilling future. Take small steps toward change, like setting boundaries or speaking up about your needs. Over time, this will help you shift from seeking comfort to seeking real, lasting happiness in a relationship. Chapter 6: Breaking Free. How to fall for the right person, without losing yourself. Now that you understand some of the reasons you've been falling for the wrong person, how can you attract the right one? It all starts with knowing yourself and setting clear boundaries. One of the most important things you can do is become whole before seeking a partner. If you rely on someone else to complete you, you're likely to fall into unhealthy patterns. A study by the University of California found that individuals who have strong self-esteem and a clear sense of identity are more likely to choose partners who are emotionally healthy and supportive. The research suggests that the key to a lasting, fulfilling relationship is starting from a place of self-love and independence. As Dr. Laura Berman says in The Passion Prescription, when you are whole, you attract someone who complements you, rather than someone who fills a void. Setting boundaries is another powerful way to protect yourself. It's important to know what you need from a partner and to be willing to stand up for those needs. Dr. Brené Brown, a renowned researcher on vulnerability, argues that setting boundaries isn't about being rigid or controlling, it's about creating space for trust and respect in a relationship. A practical strategy is to define your non-negotiables. These are the qualities and values you must have in a partner, things like trust, honesty, and shared goals. When you know what you won't tolerate, you'll be less likely to fall for someone who doesn't meet those criteria. Keep in mind that the right person won't feel like a compromise, but a choice that aligns with your own needs and desires. Finally, remember that falling for the right person isn't about finding perfection, it's about finding someone who aligns with your values, respects your boundaries, and supports your personal growth. As Dr. John Gottman says, the secret to a lasting relationship isn't perfection, it's the ability to repair and grow together. I hope you found these strategies helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more tips about building healthier, happier relationships. The right person is out there, and with these insights, you're one step closer to finding them.